Hey, how you doing out there? This is Pete over Southwest. We've been working on our truck over here, 61 Chevy truck, and I'm getting a little fucking irritated, okay? What we're doing, we're installing the brakes. I showed you the brake kit that I was using. It's a universal brake kit. And when I say brakes, I'm talking about the foot pedal, the power booster, the master cylinder, okay? And it's an under the floor kit, all right? This is a universal kit which pretty much can be used on any application. It just takes a little thinking and a little bit of time and a little bit of patience, okay? You got to have patience and you got to put your thinking cap on to design your own way of installing this, because they don't give you no instructions. They give you a parts list and say, here you go, put the fucking thing on, okay? So anyway, we went ahead and installed the pedal, and it looked very well. I had to do a couple modifications to the pedal to make it work. So let's take a look at what I had to do. I got the booster bracket already installed. I'm gonna show you how I did that. And keep in mind, I did all this on the ground. I don't have a lift here to lift cars up in the air. And one more thing, a job like this does require a welder, a good welder, and some type of cutting tool to cut the metal to make it fit. And the reason I'm kind of showing you this in little steps here, I can't show you in detail because, like I said, I'm doing this, if you look real close here, I'm doing this on my creeper, and I'm doing it on the ground, okay? And I'm basically doing this laying upside down, so kind of bear with me here and we'll kind of go over what we're doing. Okay, I told you about putting the pedal in, and I had to cut the hole out. Okay, now I cut that out in the smallest diameter that I could, all right, if you look real close. Okay, and what we'll do is we'll go ahead and put a rubber grommet around that will keep the air and the dust out and particles and water or what have you. So that'll be cleaned up really nice. And I had to modify it. Now, when I say modify our pedal, if you look right here, okay, these two holes were actually drilled in it, but I had to go up a step higher, so I had to re-drill a hole up here. Now I'm gonna cut all this off, and I'll round that out so this isn't hanging down and it'll look more professional. I had to notch out our cab mount bracket. If you look right there, you can see where I notched it out, and I notched it out all the way through, and I'll go ahead and modify that up, and I'll add a piece of steel back to that, and I'll box it in once I get that all installed with our rods and everything, so I'll know where to do that, and that'll reinforce cutting out that hole, and it'll be back to normal. Now I could have went ahead and just cut a hole out, but the problem we had is I didn't know exactly where the rod was going to end up in what area, and I can always go ahead and just weld another piece back in there and clean it up, and you'll never even know. But I could have been really precise about it and, you know, measured it out precisely and blah, 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 and just, you know, used a hole saw and drilled it out, but, you know, I'm trying to do it the easier way, and it actually works good this way. And this is just an example. You know, don't watch other people do it, and don't fucking listen to other people. Do it the way that you feel comfortable with, okay? It doesn't matter what other people think and what other people decide to do. It's your way, it's your truck. So keep it that way. So we got our pedal pretty much mounted. It's just temporarily spot welded on. If you look right there, you can see there's a spot weld right there. And then I have another one somewhere on the other side. Okay, so I gotta go back and weld all that up. Now what I did yesterday, there's our booster. And our kit, if you look at our kit right here, okay, it comes with 1, 2, 3 different size rods. You got a short, medium, and long. I went ahead and used the medium one because that's where my booster ended up in here. But that's nice that it comes with those extra rods in case you need them. So what I did, I went ahead and installed the rod, and there's our end joint right there that goes on our pedal. Okay, I went ahead and installed the rod on the pedal of the brake setup, and I ran it through the cutouts that I made on the frame. And then I went ahead and took my booster. I literally took the booster and the master cylinder and I put it on my floor jack. And I jacked that up in the air to the proper height that I needed it up here next to the frame, and I lined it all up, eyeballed it out and lined it up, and set it up without the bracket. Now the bracket wasn't on there, so you got to picture the booster in there with just the rod. Then what I did is I took my tape measure and I measured from the end of the frame section over to the outside bolt of the booster, okay, which is right here. And I took that much off, which was 5 and I believe it was 5 3/4. Then I bolted the bracket onto the booster, raised it back up in here, okay, lined it all up, eyeballed it out, and I went ahead and welded that on. Now, to make it stronger, okay, to give us a nice firm grip on our brake system, I went ahead and installed a 2" by 2" 1/8" thick angle iron bracket here. And I'm gonna go ahead and clean all this up right up in here. Let's see where we are. There it is. I'm gonna go ahead and clean all these edges up, and I'm gonna cut off the extra meat off our brackets we don't need, and I'll grind them down, I'll clean them up. I don't have to do that, but it's kind of like our paint job right here, okay, on our firewall. All right, my name is on that, and you always get these smart asses out there that says, you know, here's just a little example of a comment. Ooh, who did that job? Boy, that sure is tacky. Gee, that weld sure is cheap. God, I could have welded better than that. And the only reason that they're even saying that is because they're fucking jealous because they aren't doing it, or they can't do it, or they don't know how. So they always got to come up with some lame excuse of what looks bad on it, you know, to make it look like whoever did the job is a piece of shit. And, oh, I wouldn't take my car there. Yeah, okay, buddy, whatever you say. So, we got the booster already installed. I've taken it out. I got to clean all the welds up on our brackets that we installed. I'm gonna get all that done. We're gonna look it over. I'll have the booster back in the car. And one more thing, that's why I don't use a lift. I like doing it this way because I can use my jack, see, and jack it up in there precisely where I want it. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, sometimes you think, you think lifts really help you out and easier tools to make easier jobs. No, sometimes the old-fashioned way is the best way, okay? And this is just a good example. With that floor jack, which is an old bullshit floor jack, I was able to jack it up in there precisely where I wanted it. You see what I'm saying? I didn't have to use all my muscle to hold it up in there, or another guy, you know, holding it for me while I'm lining shit up. That was a one-man job, one-man operation that I did right here in my shop. Wow. That was a lot of shit to show you there. I hope everybody caught that out there, and I hope you know what I was talking about, because I got kind of lost myself. But, you know, that's basically what you're talking about as a one-man operation. See, that's what I am here. I'm basically just a one-man operation doing what I got to do to get her done. That's it, okay? Yeah, I got employees that come and go this way, and they come over here, and they go over there, and this, that, and that. And that's kind of like the robot dance I'm doing there. Looks pretty cool. But, you know, a lot of employees, they don't work out. Maybe it's me, maybe it's them, who the fuck knows, who cares? All I know is it's gotta be done the way I want it done, because my name is the one that's on it, all right? Not the employee's name, okay? They're just here to get their check on Saturday. They don't get one rat shit. And don't get that wrong, there's a lot of employees out there that really, really care about their jobs. It's just that the ones I run into don't. And I hope you learned something out there about this, and our truck's really looking good. The brake system that we chose for this is going to be good stopping power. It's going to be perfect stopping power for our LS1 overdrive transmission setup. And I'm really excited to get this thing done and check it out and see what it's all about. Minnie's gone right now. She's in Japan watching my son, PJ, world-class wrestling tournament for the United States Navy. And I sure hope he comes through. I'm very excited. I should be there watching him. We pulled straws and Minnie just happened to win this trip, so what can I say? I guess I didn't rig the straws up right this time, but we won't tell her that. That's a joke. I was supposed to go, not her. But I let her go. She deserves it. She's a good woman, hard worker, so let her go. All right. Now we know Minnie's in Japan, Bruno's depressed, and I'm still here fucking working. Take it easy. We'll see you later. Catch us on the next one. Hasta la vista.